Hello ladies and gentlemen, it's time for our G2 versus Rogue review. I don't know what the hell is going on. Because I don't remember this game. We just jump right into it. Senna first pick, trade for Aphelios 2 Gragas, good first rotation. We love Gragas. Gragas is so thick and juicy. We love it. Lock in LeBlanc and Lee Sin. This is a G2 move that they did against OG. I respect it. I like it. It gives you a very strong mid lane, very strong 2v2 because most of the time LeBlanc gets banned second wave. LeBlanc gets banned second wave, so this is a very, very juicy 2 and 3. But now the issue number 4. Number 4, big problem. Oi, 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 oi. I thought that our dear friends in Rogue had something special planned for us. Like a Kled. Or like a anything, you know? This is good information. Because in Irelia, we always ask ourselves, is it good into Soraka? Obviously, G2 is not going to reveal any information, but here they're banning Irelia when they blind piece Soraka. So it's kind of an alert. Now the bottom line is, Elise ban is very troll. Elise ban on blue side is very troll. Why is it troll? Because Gragas is just as good, so it gives you nothing. Ban Soraki from Iraqi instead. Most teams are gonna pick Gragas over Elise here. Maybe not, but I think if you face Gragas or Elise, do you care? It's the same shit. It's the same shite. So I think this Elise ban, remove, and then just move on. I think Gragas is the best jungler in the game. You guys know this. I've said this millions of times. So I think Elise ban or even Thresh ban could potentially be removed. But Thresh is also a very strong champ. I think Thresh is a very, very high tier support. So I don't mind the Thresh ban. I think Elise ban is definitely worse. I think if you start to ban junglers, you need to go all the way. If you ban Elise, Gragas, it's better. You know? Or if you ban Elise, Lee Sin, first pick Gragas, something like that, could be super cool. Because you have an option of AD carry, Senna, Aphelios anyway, right? So either way, I think these bans are bad. And then I thought the whole idea here is that they have a plan into Soraka. But instead we have a very boring Aatrox. And this is a matchup that Soraka is fine with. So Aatrox Lee Sin will not pressure that much. If anything, the idea should be that Lee Sin and LeBlanc should just hard go on 2v2 mid and look to pressure into top. But if Gragas covers the 2v2 mid, maybe they can win in a counter gank because Lee Sin on 10.2 is not that strong because his what's it called? His 6 just happens to arrive so much later. Tam Coco gets locked in versus Nautilus. It's okay, but it doesn't give you a pressure point, which is fine considering your bot lane is going to be, the safe side. You want to play into Soraka, you're not going to win the 2v2 bottom anyway because of Soraka ult. So it's rough. Okay. The big problem in this game was Seth got ganked. Can you unpause the video so we get to see Finn? Oh, why? We'll continue. Rogue with the map divide into bottom. I think it's honestly not so impactful. Like Gragas jungle clear speed is relatively similar here. He starts wolves, it's not too bad. And Lee Sin pressuring into bottom is not that big. It's like Tam, Senna. It's not gonna matter too much. So it doesn't matter. Spire is going for red, and after red he's going to be level 3. And then the whole play here for Rogue should be to try to pressure Perks as much, but he's a melee champion against LeBlanc. It's the easiest gank target ever. You can easily find kills onto him if you just start very, very early. So here Gragas is matching. We have 2 for 2. And then Perks gets committed here, and he has W, so of course Inspire doesn't Q because he would just lose too much HP and can't press a Jankos. Jankos level 2 after the shitty start. Here potentially Lee could chase onto Jankos and not let him push here. Could be a very good move. So LeBlanc is running Ignite and pushed in the wave. Perks TP's back, has no mana. And yeah, the LeBlanc E was pretty boosted, honestly. The problem here, if you want to look at the play here, Larson is committing and not waiting for W. He's throwing his E, and I think if he waits for W, then E's, then I think they have a kill here. Because here, he E's onto the creep, and he could just wait for W. And now he has no mana. Wait for WE, and then you will hit the chain. It's like if you're good LeBlanc, you hit WE always. And now LeBlanc has no mana. Push in, base, very natural, very normal. Perks TP'd back. This is a good outcome for Rogue. But here, the only thing is, the problem is Rogue need to bounce the wave. They need to bounce the wave here, but they are contesting super, super hard. They have a boner for winning the bot lane, and they should just let this wave bounce and freeze. Here you can see they are stopping the recall, and Tam and Sen are playing way too aggro, and Set has tempo on one wave. So they're very similar to the game Fnatic versus G2, where Veigar had tempo one wave into bottom. Here Set has one wave tempo as well. LeBlanc can begin to snowball this because her items are better than Set, and she can look to potentially freeze the wave here, or I think she's too late to freeze, slow push a wave, and they can pressure Set again. But what happens? Honestly, a game-changing mistake, because as we said, the wave is already pushing towards Rogue. They are not going to lose that much CS if they back up. It's one wave, it's not a big deal, but instead we have a fucking a kill on Tahm Kench. He burns flash, he burns heal, and G2's bot lane, they were actually in a bad position. They were in a bad position. They got repaired. Set was in an okay position. He got a kill. Too many things went wrong. Because here, they know he's going bot. There's nothing else for him to do. He bought boots, he has no money, there's nothing for him to do. And Rogue had the wave bounce, so they managed the wave good, but then they tunnel visioned and died. And Vander burnt double summoner, and Caps, this bot lane situation got repaired. Now double longsword Lee Sin is going to be very strong in 3v3. This is not something G2 want to commit to. Lee doesn't get spotted, I believe. Oh, Hansama always does this, man. This is very bad. Like, not Hansama always does. I'm contrasting him with Wild Turtle. I've been seeing a lot of Senna getting caught today in every review. It was Caps, it was Hansama, it was Wild Turtle. He gets queued here. Like, what is he doing here? It's very bad. Like, he's walking up, and he kind of ruins bottom here. Like here, Rogue was in an advantageous position. They were strong, and then, ooh, this is a bit too much. This was a very bad all-in. Perks is looking for it, but it's just not a good move. The W is still on the ground, and Larson W is back, hitting E, and then it's just rough. Perks, you know, sure, Larson solo kills Perks here, but Perks was just kind of inting. Let's be honest, he was inting. Larson played it well. Perks going for that dopamine release, yeah, this is a good way of putting it. Because honestly, this is a situation where his lane has already won. His lane has already won. Like Larson has one more corrupting, I believe, and it would have been good. There's also Caps and Nautilus were in base. I don't understand why they were in base, because we saw that Senna got so chunked, and then out of the replay they're in base. They pushed in the wave, and Hansama stayed and healed up to full with his Q, of course. And here, just because of Aphelios and Nautilus is in base, Rogue can secure a Drake. So maybe this is a question of G2 just making a mistake of basing on bottom, because I think with Senna's HP, they could have probably stayed. But maybe they respected Lee or something. I don't know. They had Sorak ult as well on. I don't know. It's hard to judge because we don't actually see it, but after Senna got chunked so hard, I would believe that G2 has actual tempo in bot, and they could save this Drake. Because they got nothing out of this base. Nautilus and Gragas hovering in now. I was very happy that he can take blue, set mid. Okay, this is Perks being a maniac. Testing some limits on the Rift. Saw Perks playing it in stream. which is cool. He's doing good. He's doing good. Yeah, he burnt ult, but whatever. Mercury now counters LeBlanc. Hard for Lee Sin to find timing to gank on to Gragas. It's just, I talk so much about 2v2 mid, but it's so hard when you lose tempo with jungle that it's very hard to find windows to actually pressure onto mid. It's not like 2019 where you had all the time in the world to pressure on mid. A lot of the 1v1s matter more now. And set with Mercury is definitely strong. I think 10.3 though is going to be very interesting for jugglers. Soraka being even. You see here, that's why I wanted something AD heavy and all-in heavy, because Soraka is always going to itemize Athenes. It's just such a core item that she doesn't give a shit. Despite going for some kickaroos, they have Herald. Nautilus with some good movement here to match this, because looking at bot wave, Nautilus does indeed have a lot of time to play with. BF Sword and Aphelios, he's quite strong. He has better AD, better items than Senna, but Senna has a huge mana pool, so I think it's a worthy trade for Senna. Senna with a big mana pool. Her spells are not designed for her to have mana immune. Like, they just didn't base her mana cost off of that. Like, for example, Ezreal is so commonly buying tier so they can base his mana cost around it. But with Senna, her mana cost was so freaking low because they just think about Senna support. So her mana immune is very powerful in terms of mana because she can spam Q almost forever. Here, Wunder doing something very similar to that he did against OG. He just got caught here, and it's very, very bad. I think here Wunder also can flash 4 perks because the slow is on from time Q, and I think maybe he can get one more auto off with flash. He also has tier 2 boots, and then with the auto, just go for it. Wunder dying here is a big deal, but they would dive Soraka regardless with Lee and Aatrox. It's very easy for them. So Soraka is very squishy, and Soraka would have to give up, so this turret will most likely fall anyway. G2 don't trade favorably here. Soraka obviously was very bad at Wunder, actually just face check top side. Like here he's killing the pink, and Finn finds an all-in. He doesn't have executioners, but it doesn't matter. Soraka's healing is not that big. And then the flash Q, boom, and the auto, the empowered auto is good enough for it. Wunder is still in fine state because he's playing Soraka. Like, Soraka will always fulfill her duties. She is sworn by the prophecies that she is going to fulfill her duties. Essence River into Manamune. Next Rift. When is next Rift? We only see Baron spawn time. I don't know when the next Rift is. I believe it's earlier than the next Drake. So it should be the next objective. Wunder with TP. Hard to siege here for both teams. Both Senna and Aphelios have pretty good wave clear. LeBlanc is pretty strong with Duden's Echo's Power Spike, and Finn here is rushing Death's Dance, not buying Executioners. I guess the healing still of Soraka on herself is not that big. It's more about when you reach team fights to have that Executioners is more important. Yeah, I feel like G2 is pretty suffocated in the way they need to play. They don't have that many options. Split is definitely more difficult for them, and pressuring through mid is also very difficult because Tam and Senna are always going to be relatively safe. It's going to come down to the next Herald. If G2 can find an opportunity to teamfight around it. We'll just have to wait and see. LeBlanc's with Luden's Echo. That's a pretty big deal. You look tired as fuck, go get yourself a drink. I have some water here. It gets tiring, this is my 3rd game today. I've been talking non-stop. Oh. So here, I think, from a map state point of view, Rogue is definitely a winning position. There is the LeBlanc leads in 2v2 on top side. They can get the prio. 2v2 mids, it's hard for Rogue with G2 to pressure. And beyond that, of course, Wunder will not win prio against Aatrox. He's not a side laner. So I think in a lot of these situations, G2 are getting away with murder. Caps is walking up too far. The move speed from Senna. Soraka healing comes in. Another healing. Root. And then here Jankos with the late E, I believe. I don't know if he's just spamming. Will you play some solo queue afterwards? Yes, I will. The best thing G2 can hope for constantly is just team fights. Like, this outcome is pretty bad for G2 considering you set TP. It's a very, very important cooldown. Because I don't think Set wins against Aatrox on side. He shouldn't. LeBlanc should beat Set on side as well. Lee Sin and what's his name? Lee Sin LeBlanc should definitely beat Set on side, no problem. Laz no TP. Next objective is Drake, that's why he's on bottom. There's no Nash yet. Aatrox with TP on top. Good macro move from Rogue. Standard stuff. G2 going through mid lane, and now LeBlanc base after pushing bottom for a blasting wand. This puts them very far behind on tempo, and it should be free Drake for G2. Aatrox is just committing to pushing top, and ideally here the best thing Rogue can get away with maybe is to chip away at mid turret, but G2 realize that they can walk away from this and be on time before the wave crashes in mid, so all is good. Chain lands. Wonder gets move speed from Q, he should be fine. No problem at all. No chain on cooldown. Okay. Athene's as well. As you can see, the MR is quite juicy. It's just very, very hard for G2 to find the aggressive play. Like, the best odds is for Gragas to go on Set's lane and then they look to try to kill whoever is there. But Set is more of a team fighter, Gragas is more of a team fighter, Lee Sin likes the skirmishes, LeBlanc likes the skirmishes, and so does Aatrox. There is nothing to reduce Aatrox healing, and it is very difficult for G2 to actually one-shot if Perks doesn't take any damage to get a huge W off. But maybe it's still the best way for G2 to actually pressure, because they have the Soraka to support it. So I think G2 should definitely go for it, you know, play 2-2-1 and find pressure through the set lane. Soraka has, of course, TP anyway. Okay. Rogue chipping away on bottom tower, mid is whatever, no one cares about mid. Blah, 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 blah. Next break in 2 minutes. G2 has 2 of them. Perks from pushing top goes into mid. G2 just lay down vision. They need to look for those opportunities when LeBlanc is showing on top wave, and they look to outnumber in mid, because this game, G2's name of the game is just to find opportunities where they are grouped, and Rogue should just look to pressure side as much as possible. Here they're trying to outpressure the fact that LeBlanc pushes top. It will force rotation, but G2 will also be late into top side. There will be some creeps that will fall. Now they're hovering to try to catch LeBlanc and kill her. But if I remember correctly, I think she should be fine. Perks. The RKO with the Q and the... Okay, with the W into R. No problem. I think you can Soraka R people in Zonya. This is the dream state here for G2. They look for the team fight. I think this one ends rather bad because I think Caps gets caught. This is definitely a fight where we see the power of Soraka, because Caps gets giga caught in this fight. He gets queued by Aatrox and then kicked, and then he gets to stay on the wall. And the problem is here that the Q is not enough to finish Caps from Lee, because Lee is quite weak, and then Caps here just survives to 1 HP. It's just quite crazy. It's very, very crazy. And also here LeBlanc ult cooldown is 1 frame off here. You can see he has ult in 1, and then I think if he stayed in range there, maybe he could do something, but as you can see his HP is dropping quite low, and If he stays in the turret, it could get very dangerous. So you can see here LeBlanc's ult cooldown is ticking down. But I think if you want to play this in any way, shape or form, Caps needs to position different because he knows Lee Sin is on the flank, and they know and see Aatrox's position. Like Aatrox is standing on the ward here, and I think here also Perks could potentially play it better by ulting the Aatrox. Like here, if he ults the Aatrox and pushes Aatrox into these in this cluster of 3 people, if he was ulted the Aatrox into this cluster of all people, then they would save Caps easily, and I think Lee would just die, and then I think the set could stall. But instead he ults the Lee, and the Lee has no abilities. Like he already RQ'd Eid, and he has nothing. Like Inspired is a walking cannon minion after using his spells, right? Then Lazen here 1 second off cooldown, and it could be the game changer. Like if they ace here, it could be just game winning, right? So it's very, very close, and Soraka shows why she's so fucking busted, and it's a game winning fight. And then yeah, they just bait too hard. They see Finn, and the Caps gets caught, and then the king comes, and G2 had full information here, and they played it pretty bad. And then just here at the margin here of Larson having ult on is so fucking small, and it is crazy. I think here Larson should have stuck around maybe, because Larson played very afraid on this LeBlanc in this game. Like here maybe he should stick around and fucking play on the LeBlanc passive and look to fucking R or Q to finish Caps here. And then Perks comes in, swings his set deck, and gets it done. Fellows did a lot of damage there. G2 still very happy to keep forcing these fights. That was like the best fight that Rogue could hope for in a 5v5, because now Soraka's strength is really coming online, Caps is in a good state, and after this fight, you know, G2 are far superior in 5v5 team fights. Rogue needs to play on splits, and as G2 secure another Drake, G2 will have an easier time forcing those fights. And this is the Miki Hilisan curse. They constantly, you know, they constantly get caught on Nautilus, Hilisan, and Mickey X. Not the quickest Nash in the game for Rogue, so G2 can be very patient in them face shaking. Obviously, the Senna can heal you, and you can tank this Nash forever, but you don't do damage. G2 are just chilling, like there's no rush at all. They can take it easy. Slow ride, boom, 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 boom. Yeah, I'm saying Mickey and Hilisan, they int on Nautilus very often. Like they just run it down on Nautilus. I think both of these super players don't want to play it, but they know how OP it is. So it's kind of strange here, the situation where this fight ends fine for Rogue, but I think Finn is being a bit too much of a wussy. Again, he can definitely enter this fight. They see that that Seth is flanking here, and Finn is doing nothing. Why is it piss yellow again? So for me, Finn is a culprit. Larson is a bit of a culprit. I think they can definitely cut Wunder in half here. Instead, it starts with the backflip. You see the boom into the wall, and then boom. Tam Coco is dead already. Mickey now doing his best to zone. And then here Caps dies for no reason. Caps is chasing a dead Senna. Like Senna has no flash here, no Tam Coco. There is no reason for Caps at all to chase into this Senna with Muramana and of course Duskblade of Drekta. So if Caps just stays back and lets Perks and Gragas do the work here and kill Hansama, then after this terrible fight from Rogue, this would have been Nash. But Caps dies here, Hansama stopwatches to eat time, and then Soraka and Nautilus are left behind. So for me, you know, I think this fight starts fine for Rogue, but then the issue is here, I think when Seth gains entry, here Inspired needs to look to kick Perks away. And then I think if you kick him away, imagine you kick, And you just force on these guys. Like, why the fuck is Aatrox zoned by these kids? You just force on these people. Senna ult, Aatrox, you know, it could be very juicy because summoners have been used. There's no summoners, right? And then the fight continues. G2 again passage. And then here, like, Wunder should just continue. Like, Mickey is pushing Aatrox off, and here with the silence, Wunder should commit all the way here. But instead, Wunder is fapping around. I think he should have committed. You know, he should have jogged all the way. And then also Wunder here with the. Actually, I didn't realize Inspired's kick is actually really fucking insane. Inspired's kick actually saves this fight. And then Wunder's ult here is a bit too late. He doesn't save his teammate. No Nash. So it's okay. Not the end of days. Next fight. Still no summoners for everyone. And G2 are still very, very happy to be in a position when they need to force fights. Because if Soraka and Aphelios are sticking together, and Soraka doesn't get one shot, then these fights are getting very nasty. I thought this build was very troll by caps. He went Vampiric and BT. I think if you go for this build, when you have a Soraka, you just give double value to Grievous Wounds. So you definitely don't want to do that. Perks walking up. Rogue are in a position where they're playing a full game around mid lane, and with no TP on Aatrox and no time to actually push top wave, G2 is very happy. Drake is spawning in 2 minutes. Rogue can't poke in 2v2, they can't hard engage on 2v2, they need to one-shot Soraka, they need to find flanks. And that becomes harder and harder as time goes, because Nautilus and Gragas will make it their life's duty to protect Soraka, of course. So unless Wunder trolls, I think it's very difficult. And as long as G2 can actually keep track of everyone and not get flanked, maybe the best way is to maybe time ult behind, go with Aatrox and look to one-shot. They just need to find a way to kill Soraka. Have to kill Soraka. But it's very difficult. G2 just have a lot of CC in their comp and a lot of damage outputs. Like Aphelios covers up for any lack of damage. It's absolutely crazy. So Larsen gets fucked, and the fight is over. And Larsen was playing quite scared already before this, and after this he doesn't play the game at all, honestly. That silence was neat onto the Nautilus Q, but Nautilus Q was most of the legwork here. Now with Cloud Drake, it's a pretty big one. The move speed is pretty neat on both Soraka, and the ult cooldown. It's just LeBlanc obviously shouldn't be there, like she gets hooked, and that's the problem. Now Rogue, the best thing they can do is hope for a steal, but it's tricky when Set can actually chase you. I think G2 needed to turn a bit earlier because Vander got a bit too much access. How should they play this actually? This is trickier than I said. Because maybe they just can't do Nash. Because Rogue is already in the area. But it's not like G2 have the best champions to chase Lee Sin. Like Lee Sin's gonna get around and find things. G2 is taking a lot of damage from Nash, and they don't have the best Nash in the world. It's very reliant on Aphelios weapons. And then here with the Gragasy onto the Tam, like it's crazy the Tam is running fucking Gargo Stoneplate. Like look how tanky he is, he's fucking unkillable, and Gragas gets one-shotted by the center. And then here Caps and Mickey, they are fighting the wrong people because Caps is walking up, and I wonder if this whole BT purchase is just really troll. Like I'm just imagining a scenario where they actually imagine a scenario where Gragas doesn't E in here. They'll play for Nautilus Hook. Like where is Nautilus Hook? A Nautilus Hook miss. That's the problem. Like if they have Nautilus Hook here and Gragas doesn't need to E in, maybe they can catch Tam earlier, hit him slowly, and then here Caps and Mickey, they're just fighting, and it's just kind of weird because Caps doesn't do that much damage without fucking IE. Look at him fucking shoot. Like his crits are so small, like IE is so fucking huge of an item, I think. Nice kick from Inspired. He passed the Lee Sin test, and G2 just become way too split up. And the question in the first place, maybe they just couldn't go Nash. Maybe they just couldn't go Nash, and G2, I mean, Rogue will just have too easy access to them when they're doing it. At the same time, G2 don't have anyone to tank it because everyone is buying Mercury, there's no armor at all. I just think it's a bad play. They played it wrong, right? But I think also it's a bad play in the first place. Wunder also didn't ult for Gragunia. Lars and LeBlanc was very underwhelming, honestly. That's Nash. I think the decision is just wrong. I think it's very difficult to finish Nash. I don't think they can. The only hope is that they turn, but they are very not tanky. They are very squishy, their whole team. Like this is a Morello Gragas. So it is not so tanky. After the Nautilus Q hook like misses, I just think there's no way of doing this properly. I think just Cap's BT build is a bit troll, no? Like, is this a thing? Like, did I miss something? I just think is so important when you have 2 crit items already. It gives you so much value, and most people run Bloodline anyway on Aphelios. I'm assuming he did too. I would get it in a world where he doesn't have Soraka, right? He does, but he has Soraka, so I think BT can be good when you have enemy has LeBlanc and the shield is pretty good for you to recover with, but it's just whatever. Now the game starts a game where Rogue needs to play on 3 waves. The issue with all of this is G2 can constantly move back and forth here. They can move back and forth in this space. They can move into bottom. They can defend. They can clear mid wave. They can defend. It's just very important that they play on 2 wave, because honestly the engage is not that great. The engage of G2 is not that great considering there's a Tahm Kench, there's Edge of the Night, there's a LeBlanc. Everyone's very mobile, right? Rogue is in a very good state. They just try to play on 2 lanes, and with this tower gone, it's very difficult It's just there's no reason for them to be here. They need to be 1, 3, 1, or they need to be 2, 2, 1. Like they have Tamkench ult. Like level 11 Tamkench ult is almost global. Because after this Nash, like they should be winning 100%. This is a very strong position for them. If they split up G2, then 100% they should be fucking very, very weak. No one can match them on side right now. No one. And Lee Sin is in a very good state. Aatrox is in a very good state. Everyone on Rogue is super strong. Like the only person that is strong on G2 is Set, and Caps, I guess, is in fine state as well. But the Rogue are just sieging mid, and Lee is bottom for some reason. Like, what is Lee doing? Anything. Like after this Nash, for sure, Rogue is in winning position. They just don't know how to. Like, look at the wave top. The wave top was untouched. Untouched for the whole Nash duration. That was very bad. I think the only way you would lose against this G2 composition is if you actually give them a 5v5 to fight over. And now, with the Elder spawning, it turns into the same. And the pressure is just too late. Rogue needs to be knocking on top inhibitor right now as this Elder Dragon is spawning. But nothing is happening. Like, Set also doesn't have TP. And instead we're in a situation where Rogue actually need to teamfight. Here I thought Caps was a bit of a maniac. Like, why the fuck does no one attack him? Why are you running? Like, why are they running away from him? I thought this was really shocking when I saw it. I was like, what the fuck? How wild is he, man? He's a fucking maniac. I thought this is crazy. It's just absolutely nuts. What is this? It's absolutely crazy, man. He's just zoning the whole map. It's so crazy. He's kind of with the crazy. Yeah. He's so fucking crazy, man. He's just... He's like, these guys don't know what my champion does. It's so fucking crazy, man. It is mental. It is mental. It's crazy. And then it's like, there you have the stopwatch, Finn stopwatch. G2 are in really good position for Elder. They have full vision. There's a crab, only thing that is going to spot them. There's the crab. Let's remove this line. Here, I think the culprit is Super is coming with a very good flank. Here is very important that Hansama gets here. He needs to be in this position. Because the problem is, Purse is coming for the flank and Hansama reacts way too fucking late. Like Hansama is playing with locked camera or something because he notices this set way too late. This thing is, he breaks his neck. Obviously, Perk breaks his neck. Boom. And then, looking at the rest, I guess it's important that Rogue actually fucking commits here, man. Larson is being so scared, man. Ever since that thing happened to him, he's being scared. Like, here they can one-shot Wunder. Like, look at the position now, okay? Look at this. So, if Hansama flashes the moment Set is running at him here, over the wall, he looks to flash here and kite downwards, okay? He's going to get this guy away from the whole team fight, then he can look to W him as he flashes over, and he can go. And here, look at Soraka E. This is Soraka E. Soraka E. Yeah? Look at this. Look at Finn position. What's Larsen doing? Look at this. They are all committing on Soraka. They can break her neck here. They can break her neck. Break her neck like a chicken's. But Larsen Qs and then W's back. And then where does he chain? I don't know what the fuck he chained here. 2 chains. Oh shit. Okay, the chat is ruining everything. Okay. I thought when you said the chat is ruining everything that like the people that are writing in the chat are just writing shit. Okay, let's take a look again, okay? So he queued, and then it's not like he misclicks because he E's way later. It's terrible. It's very bad. Like Larsen trolled really hard. He was not a champion. And Sama gets... I don't know, many of these fights where G2 look like genius, it's crazy how mind controlled the enemy becomes. Honestly. Because here, Wunder kept staying in the field, you know, BT value is fighting in there, and then look, Wunder is just flashing out. Imagine if Finn had a team here, because Finn played pretty fucking good. Hansama flashes late, and then now Perks is gonna flash over the wall with the W, boom, and then everyone's dead. Like, what did Larsen do this fight, man? Larsen did very little. Look at that stopwatch. He gets queued here by Nautilus, and he's dying to Hurricane auto-attacks. Look at here, he's dying to Hurricane auto-attacks. Look at Hurricane pop off, man. Good QSS flash, very good to dodge the LeBlanc W. Yeah, Finn and Inspired played very well. And honestly, what did Hansama do this fight as well? And then Wander, what he's a town coco, like it doesn't matter what he does. Look at Perks just punching everyone. Us, us, us. Us. Holy shit, actually Wunder smurfed this. Look at this. The predict. He queues right now. 8k damage. Yeah, after LeBlanc got silenced and rooted on the Nautilus Q, he was like a little bird, man. Very scared. Fun game. Okay, I was very tired during this review.